Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we've got 5 dribbling exercises that are going to be really valuable, especially for you wide players. So we're going to jump straight into the first exercise here. This one's going to act as our warm-up for the rest of our session. We're going to cover many different components of dribbling in one activity. So we're going to start here. We've got 4 cones around the outside. They're going to form a square. They're all 10 steps apart, if you want to set this up exactly how I've done. And then we've got 2 cones in the middle of the grid. These are 2 steps apart. Then as you can see, on this side, we've placed down 2 cones. This is our starting gate. And on the opposite side, we've got another 2 cones, which is our finishing gate. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pass the ball up to that cone opposite us. We're going to accelerate after it, dribble around this cone. We're going to dribble directly through the center. We're going to perform a figure of 8, low center of gravity, close control, up to this top cone here. Get around nice and tight. Then we accelerate with the ball to this gate, and that's where we finish. So this is going to get us warm. This is going to get us plenty of touches in all different ways. Close control, accelerations without the ball, accelerations with the ball. And we're going to go through this for 5 repetitions with maximum intensity. The next exercise focuses on receiving the ball out on the wing, tight to the line, with a defender aggressively pressing us. So as a winger, you'll often find yourself in this scenario where you don't have much space to operate in, so it's really important that we get comfortable receiving the ball under pressure so that we can create space, get out of it, and create options for our team. So to create this scenario, I'm using a rebounder and a pole, or you could use a cone. If you don't have a rebounder, you could use a bench flipped on its side, or work with a teammate just to pass you the ball in. But the rebounder is acting as our central midfielder who's spraying the ball out wide to our feet. And we want to be able to receive that ball and face up against our opponent. So what's really important here is we create a little bit of movement before we receive the ball in order to get that defender on their heels. If we're really lackadaisical with how we receive the ball, the defender's going to bite on that, intercept it, we're probably going to lose the ball. So we need to put them slightly off balance. So a little movement as we're receiving the ball can go a long way. So as it's on its way, just a little step and then receive the ball. That little step is just going to make that defender react. They're going to get on their heels and be a bit more hesitant. And then we can face up against our opponent, and now we have 2 options. If we don't perform that movement and we receive the ball, now it's very difficult for me to create any space here because I'm cut off, the angles aren't available anymore. But if we just perform that small movement, so then we can face up against our opponent, now we have both options. So a couple of movements we can work on to receive this ball. We could even work on receiving the ball, acting like we're going to go down the line, cut inside of the defender, or we can make it seem like we're going to meet the ball, come towards it, drop the shoulder, drop the knee, and then take the ball down the line. Just work on a few creative movements here after you've created that body feint in order to create space. So I might receive the ball, little body feint, step inside, croqueta, or I could go the opposite way as well. So I received the ball, step and down the line, or we can even take it in one touch. So I might make it seem like I'm going to take the ball down the line, touch inside. So just work on a variety of different movements and go for about 20 repetitions or so. After each movement, making sure we accelerate into the space, because it's really important once we've unbalanced the defender to exploit that space and leave them behind. So we receive the ball, slight movement, cut inside, and off we go. The next exercise focuses on a very specific dribbling technique that we can use inside the box to get a shot away. So when we're dribbling inside the box, defenders are on high alert. very reactive to our movements, so we can use this to our advantage. So this is the setup here. We're just working with this first pole. You could put a cone down or any object just to act as a frame of reference for the defender. So we're gonna dribble to the side of the defender, going towards the line. When we're inside the box, if we're dribbling towards the goal, defenders are gonna be running in this direction with us. You won't get defenders typically pressing you head on. They won't come towards you. They're trying to shield you into a non-dangerous position in order to block the cross or win the ball. So we can use this to our advantage. As we dribble down the side, the momentum of the defenders are all going this way. So if we cut the ball back at an angle and then take our next touch inside, now we're on the opposite side of the defender. So we're gonna have some space here. So how we wanna set this up, we're gonna stutter step on this planted foot. So we stutter step down the line, make it seem like that's where we're gonna go, slight bend in the knee, slight drop in the shoulder, and that's gonna make the defender bite on that movement. So we show it down the line, hook it back with the outside of our foot into the space we've created, then immediately we want to take a second touch into this gap here. And once we're in this situation, it's all about finesse, trying to find the corners with accuracy, so use the inside of your foot. A master of this technique is Arjen Robben, used it throughout his career to cut past defenders, get the ball inside and whip the ball into that far corner. So go and watch some highlight videos of him if you want to see this in action at the very highest level. But what we would do is get that defender off balance, cut inside, and then it's inside, and then we're just gonna roll the ball into the corners. For this exercise, I'd recommend going for 15 to 20 repetitions, really trying to guide the ball into that far corner as often as we can. This next exercise works on another way we can use dribbling inside of the box to create an opportunity to shoot. So we've got the same defender placed down here as my pole, or you could use a cone. We've got another one placed about 4 steps away at an angle from the goal and at an angle from our first defender. So we're going to be using the defender's momentum against them in this scenario. So once again, we're dribbling to the side of that first defender, getting the momentum going towards the goal. And what will happen in this situation is the other defenders inside of the box will also start going towards the goal. Because if I get the ball in this area and push it into this space, they're going to want to intercept that cross. So all of the defenders are going to start going back towards the goal to try and protect it. So we can use this to our advantage. So what we're going to do here is we're going to dribble towards that first defender. We're going to cut the ball back at an angle, which eliminates this first defender. And now we're going to push the ball towards this cone over here. So we're dribbling the ball into this space, back almost away from the goal, and now we've got an opportunity to shoot. Again, this is something Arjen Robben used throughout his career. He would cut the ball back, dribble into the box at an angle, almost away from the goal, but now he's at a perfect angle to whip that ball into the far post. So now we can get our hips around the ball, which is going to wrap the ball away from the post and back into that side netting. So let's have a look at it here. We're dribbling, trying to create momentum, cut the ball back into the space, and then wrap the ball into that far corner. Again, we'll go through this one for about 15 to 20 reps. And for the final exercise, we're going to work on a bit of instinctive dribbling around the edge of the box. So this is a great area to take a lot of small, quick touches, changing direction of the ball. It's very confusing for defenders, and you can find those small gaps to slip through and then create an opportunity to score. So what we're going to do is take a handful of cones and we're going to place them down randomly. There's no formation to these cones whatsoever. We're going to place them near the edge of the box here. And you can pick these up and repeat the process with each repetition or every few repetitions if you want to keep it completely randomized. But all we're going to be doing here is dribbling through the cones with quick touches. Get through them and get that shot away. And the great thing about this drill is because it's randomized, the distance between the cones are all different, the gaps are smaller. So even if you go past this cone, another one is going to quickly approach. You might have to shift it to the side, might have to shift it through here and then get through the gap. This really reenacts those situations in a match where you're around defenders, they're sticking legs out, and you're trying to find those small gaps to dribble between and get the shot away. So for this exercise, I'd recommend going for 15 to 20 repetitions. Every so often, pick the cones up once you start getting familiar with the pattern and start planning out routes so that you can keep it randomized between each repetition. It's really going to help you with those quick touches, instinctive dribbling, and help you find opportunities to get through in a match. So there we have it, 5 exercises you can do to massively improve your dribbling, especially if you're a wide player. Receiving the ball in those tight areas, manipulating the ball, getting it out your feet, and also some ways that you can create goal scoring opportunities. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Before you go, make sure you head over to www.7mlctraining.com if you want to check out my website where I host all of my training programs. So if you want to work on your ball mastery, your close control dribbling, your explosive speed, and your finishing, we have programs for all of those attributes if you want to take them to the next level. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video.